Hey everyone, Credible Crypto here. Wanted to make another daily video update on Bitcoin and the crypto market as a whole, pretty much. Going on from where we were last night around 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I made a YouTube video that was less than 24 hours ago, about 20 hours ago. Currently, it is January 22nd, and it's about 5:50 Pacific Standard Time. So it's been less than 24 hours, guys. And in that video, we were floating right about here at around 3,500, and I said I'm expecting one more last leg down into 33.40 to 34.30. That was a sweet spot, and then I expect a bounce. And I highlighted that particular area in red here. And as you can see, shortly after the video, we made a perfect spike down into the red zone, just tapping 34.21 here on BitMEX, and then we immediately popped it right back up, guys. And so if we look here on Kraken, which is the exchange that I was using, with my leverage trading, I guess this is actually why I didn't get filled. So I had orders down in the red zone at around 34.30 here, and it looks like we bounced at 34.40, so my orders didn't get filled on Kraken, unfortunately. But yeah, we did hit the red zone perfectly, and we saw a really strong bounce, almost an immediate $100 pop off of that red zone there, just as I was expecting. On the Coinbase chart, you can see here we hit that red zone as well. Ethereum didn't quite make it down to my red zone, or actually Ethereum was already in my red zone. Ethereum was already there, but I was hoping to get as low as actually we did hit 110. So yeah, I was looking on Ethereum to add some order stack between 106 to 110. We hit 110.5 on BitMEX, so my Ethereum orders didn't get filled either on this dip. But the point is, the targets were hit almost perfectly, and we instantly saw a very strong bounce off of the bottom there. So guys, based on my counts, that was our last fifth wave down of the leg that we were working on, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this, I believe, is completed now. Our ABC, or yeah, our ABC, our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A, B, C for the B, and then our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C. And as you guys can see, it was a nearly perfect bounce off of the bottom trend line of this triangle for the bearish scenario, and as on the bullish scenario, it did not quite bounce off the bottom of the channel, but it did hit our red zone. So based on just what I'm seeing here, just the fact that we bounced pretty much perfectly off the bottom trend line right here of this bearish triangle, I do lean now slightly more towards this bearish scenario, just because this looks a little bit better here. And and so this is what I'm looking at here, guys. Still, the bearish and bullish scenarios are both in play, but I am leaning slightly bearish. Now, what we need to look for, guys, since both the scenarios are both valid, what we need to look for at this point in time to determine if we're seeing the bullish or bearish scenarios more likely, since we're still not sure, since they're both valid, we're going to need to look at volume, guys. Volume is going to be a key factor here. Let me just pull it up real quick. Volume is going to be a key factor here, guys. So now keep in mind, in in symmetrical triangles like we have here in this bullish scenario, in symmetrical triangles, volume tends to contract throughout the triangle till the end, and then volume expands when we complete the triangle and we start the next move. In this case, to the downside, right? So in this case, the volume on this move up should continue to be weak, right? We should see weak volume as we rise here on weak movements to the upside, and that will be a very bearish indicator, telling us that this is most likely just our E wave, that we will not break above 4.1 thousand, and that we will soon after fall through. The good news is our short play here is very, very simple and straightforward. Now that we have hit our bottom here for our D wave, right? We've bounced off the bottom here. Once we make it to about 36, 3700, there's resistance around 3700 here to 3800. So I'm assuming that's where our E wave will stop if this is an E wave. Once we make it there, we can very easily set sell stops right at this level here, at this 3400 level, because we know that once E completes, and if it can't go above 4.1K, once it completes and once it drops below this low of D wave, then we know that this triangle is officially completed, and we started a new move to the downside. So I'll be setting stop sells here at 3400 once we hit this 3700 resistance, right? in the alternate scenario, we continue up and we break above 4.1 thousand, in which case the bullish count is now in play, and the bullish count has us going to the mid 4Ks at least, and we'll address targets for the bullish count once we break this level, because until then, the bullish count is not official. As long as we're below 4.1K, this bearish count is valid. Once you break above it, it gets eliminated, and we're looking just at the bullish count at that point. Let's see here. Yeah, so for the bullish count, guys, again, for the bearish count, we want to see a move up, a grinding move up on weak volume, and ideally a three-wave move to the upside, right? For the bullish case, we want to see the opposite. We want to see volume increasing here, right? So if we let's go to the daily chart, or let's go to the 4-hourly chart here. So for the bullish case, we want to see a spike in volume similar to the spike in volume we got over here. Let me go to the BitMEX exchange because it's a little bit more clear with the volume profile there. So yeah, so on BitMEX, guys, as you can see, we had this drop, we had declining volume, and we had a spike in volume right around this region right here, which coincides with this push to the upside, right? So in the bullish case, on this move up, we want to see an increase in volume similar to what we got here, indicating that we're seeing another leg, another motive leg similar to this leg up here, right? So as long as we see increasing volume here, that gives more credence to the bullish count. But the volume continues to decline as we head up here. It's going to give more credence to the bearish count. So that's an important factor I'll be looking at is the volume. And then aside from that, guys, let's see what else. Yeah, aside from that, guys, right now I'm in buy the dip mode pretty much. As we know, both of our bearish and our bullish counts have us going to the upside. Of course, our bullish count has us seeing much more upside, and our bearish count only has us seeing a little bit more upside. Nonetheless, both of our counts have us heading up in the short term. So what my plan is I'm buying all the dips at this time. I already bought some Ethereum on this initial spike. I had to market execute the order because my orders didn't get filled here on the spike to the bottom. But I did buy some Ethereum as we were moving up, and I plan on adding some more Bitcoin on a dip here. So if we go down to a smaller time frame, guys, we can see that we've moved up from this spike. If this is a first wave, we're expecting a correction down for our second wave. I'm going to be look to be adding longs in the low 3500s. That's where I think the sweet spot is, right in this area of consolidation. I'll be looking to add some longs for what I believe will be a wave 2 pullback before a larger wave 3 to the upside, right? Alternatively, if you want to play it safe, any longs that are purchased on this pullback, your stop loss would have to be right below this level here at 34.20. That's where the invalidation is, right? So if you want to be a little bit more safe and not risk losing out in case somehow we end up going down and making lose, which I don't think is going to happen, but we have to be prepared by setting a stop loss. If you want to avoid that risk, what you can do instead is wait for the inevitable pullback and then long a break of this peak here at 36.12. So that is going to be the safer play. And what you'll do is wait for the pullback, and then once we break above this peak, that means that we're now in the third wave, or the C wave, if this is just a three-wave move to the upside. But that's the safest way to play it, because at that point, we know that the pullback is complete, and we know that we're making another wave to the upside. We're not sure how big that wave is going to be. It may not be super big. We may get stuck at 3,700 right here. But the point is that it's going to be the safest play if you're looking to do something safer. For me personally, I'm pretty confident that we've seen the local low here. So I'll be looking to buy in the low 3,500s for another move up to 36 to 3,700. Where was I? Yeah, so more conservative, you look to long above this break. For me personally, I'll be looking along on the pullbacks. And then I'll be watching to see if the volume increases. And I'll be very careful here as far as making sure that if we are seeing an E wave, we're going to get something pretty straightforward like an ABC possibly, and that's it, and then we could come crashing down. So any longs that I'm picking up here, I'm going to set pretty strong stop losses. I mean, once we make this pullback and we head up, I'll probably set a stop loss at the bottom of that pullback level just to make sure that if we make a three-wave move to the upside and we come crashing down, I'll get stopped out with a very small loss or in profits, at least because I have longs from further down, and then I'll be prepared to short this loss at this level here, guys. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at, guys. Again, looking along the pullbacks whenever we get them, and I believe we're short-term bullish. If we look at RSI, the hourly RSI is above 60. I like to see that. The 4-hour RSI is still right around 50. So we're still working on the RSI on the larger time frames. The daily RSI is right around 40 as well. So if you guys have seen my past video on RSI, you know that once we get into, if you've seen my past videos, you know that once we get into the overbought regions, that's when the fireworks really start, and that's when we get the really strong moves to the upside. So above 60 is what I like to see on the 4-hourly. I like to see it holding above 60 to get those explosive moves to the upside. And we're not quite there yet. We still have some time. On the hourly, we're getting there, but we still have some time on the 4-hourly and the daily, which is where things really start getting crazy. So right now, that's all I have for right now, guys. Basically, wanted to update you guys on what we talked about last night. Hit our buy zone perfectly, and I'm now looking to long the pullbacks, expecting at minimum a 3-wave move to the upside here for our E-wave. And if we're getting the bullish scenario, which would be great, we'd be expecting a much larger move to the upside, ultimately breaking 4.1 thousand and then heading up to the mid 4,000s. If you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe so that you can see all my video updates. All right, thanks guys, bye.